So let me see here. So, okay. So we're up and running. You know,
Probably not, but I'll try.
so first of all, cheers.
Cheers.
Right? To my good buddy Art Sapp. So we're live, and I'm going to first say we are welcoming our good friend Art Sapp to the show today. And we are on the Connected by Water podcast, powered by Joey Cardi, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and fueled by Papa's Pilar Rum. Remind you never to be a spectator. I want to start today with a couple of announcements, right?
Let it rip.
Right? And I'm not going to talk about that one we talked about before yet. We'll hold that.
All right.
But I want to say probably the most important announcement. I'm going to save the best for first, right? And I would like Carlene to deliver that first announcement if you could. Do you want to deliver that first announcement?
Which announcement is it?
Well, it's Facebook official, so we can talk about it right now.
Oh, that I'm having a baby girl?
Yay! Congratulations.
3 months due in May.
3 months due in May.
Yes,
Good
another
month,
one in
great
me
month.
for the world.
So our beloved Carlene is with child. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
To you and to Mike.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
And your other baby girl, forget the sister, right?
Oh, yeah. Two
Yep.
rock stars in the world.
Awesome. So, I also want to make another announcement that for those of you who watch the show, might notice that our environment is a little different today. That is because Connected by Water has expanded once again. So we are officially, well, let me say, we took the space next to us and we've grown, we've doubled our footprint. And our previous studio where we were operating with our gallery, we're going to close that off and we're going to make that all just studio working space. And we took the place next to us and we're going to have a full-size gallery now. So that we are in the gallery, the Connected by Water gallery. So that's the Connected by Water gallery. Behind us is the Connected by Water studio. End of story.
Very nice. Still
Right,
doing
so
the podcast on this side? Or?
We're going to do the podcast from this side. Yeah, because
Nice.
we have the Pilar bar.
Yes.
This
yes.
is a newly upgraded Pilar bar. So where Carlene hangs out and is mad at us, apparently today. So
I hope not. She's
yeah.
smiling.
she's very mad at us.
Oh, because
anyway.
she didn't get to partake?
Right.
I understand.
With child.
Yep.
So
Frisky and sober, as you would say.
right. Absolutely. So those are our two big announcements today. So this past week, I love the fact that we have this show live on Facebook now.
I'm supposed to share it, and I don't know how.
Well, are we seeing it come up here? So, all right. So I love the fact that we are live. Yeah, we are here. It's on. Just go to my profile. So listen, because we could talk about things in real time now. Like, for example, last week I was in Miami at the CCA event, and you got to turn that down.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
that's me. I'm wondering where that was
that's
coming
you.
from.
So, all right, so,
Technology. I think I did it, though.
way to go, Art. You just
I
ruined the
thought it
whole
was it, though.
show.
Like, what the?
You ruined
You're
the
so
whole show.
pretty, Art.
All right, so
It's not a bottom machine. I don't know what I'm doing with it.
part of the cool thing about being live now is we
Yep.
can talk about things in real time
Yes.
and they're meaningful, right?
Yes.
And whereas before, where we were recording the show, you wouldn't see it for 2 weeks, and then we would talk about current events. You'd be like, "Well, that happened 2 weeks ago." So
Forget about it.
So now, if you're watching it on YouTube, you're watching it in archival status. I would like to also say, just as a reminder to everybody, that we are part of the Waypoint Network now. So if you're, you can find our podcast on newly on iTunes soon and Spotify. But head on over to Waypoint online and check out all their podcasts. Become part of their Waypoint Network. We are on there. So I was down in Miami at the CCA event. I was a featured artist, and I got you back a present. So here's a present for you.
Oh, look at that.
Right? So there's a little thing in there for you. Right?
Nice.
And yep. And then I got one
Thank
for
you.
Carlene too. But Carlene's going to get mad at me when I give her this present.
Oh, no.
It's a
Will
nice
she?
little flask.
It's a flask.
Not too much longer.
So
Appreciate it.
you can put,
Very
You can
nice.
put formula in there. Right. to the
Nothing but
baby.
breast milk, baby.
Right. All right. Cool. So, all right. So, speaking of real time, all right, it's snapping, right?
It is going off out here right now. Epic. Yesterday, we had a phenomenal day.
Yep.
thought there's no way this happens again. And actually, every trip here in the last couple months have been great, but here in these last few days has just been ridiculous. We, doing our typical charter thing, and with fuel prices the way they are right now, we're a little more limited because I really don't want to raise my prices. I'm already one of the most expensive in the area, and for reason, I'm 2021 39 CV.
I don't think anyone in their right mind would argue why.
Yeah. But I want to be able to take anybody that can possibly get a day to go fishing on and do it our way, our style. So I don't want to go crazy with our pricing. So the fuel's restricting our ability to run around. But we haven't had to.
Yeah.
We've caught mahis better than 20 pounds in less than 200 yards from the beach, less than 100 yards from the sea buoy out front, Hillsborough Inlet. I mean, it's just sails, kings, caught a 25-pound blackfin tuna today. It's just
Did you really?
Yeah, which this time of year is pretty uncommon. You can catch the little footballs, but a full-grown blackfin is very uncommon in November. And I mean, just all of it. It's just been utterly ridiculous how good it's been.
And we're coming fresh off that big mahi bite that we just had a couple of weeks ago.
Dude,
we came
caught,
out of nowhere.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we caught 15 mahis today. All of them nice fish. And could have caught many, many more, but at some point, my rule,
you left
15 15 is a quitting point.
Yep. So were you telling me before all the frigates overhead and it's like everything has come alive?
Yep. So it's been a ballyhoo thing, and in years past the mullet have been offshore and it's been cool. And we haven't seen that in the last 4 years. They've been staying on the beach or in the intercoastal. Well, we're seeing giant schools of mullet offshore, seeing ballyhoos. We've had this weird, we were calling it like Port St. Lucie water here lately, where it's kind of milky white, green water pushes offshore. Ballyhoos are riding right on out with it, and we're seeing
Port St. Lucie water.
It's funky up there.
Port St. Lucie.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is one of the reasons you fish that weird water, and there's not a whole lot of bottom contours up there, and it makes it interesting. Well, we got the bottom contours here with that water, and then it confusing the bait and pushing it into places that it doesn't usually go just makes it a recipe for insanity, which is what we're seeing. But then even cooler, the last two trips we come out of Hillsborough Inlet there, and the Spanish mackerels are just ass over tea kettle thick everywhere, airing out. And it's interesting.
I love when they do that.
It's cool. It's beautiful.
It's such a beautiful sight.
And they're on these tiny little minnows, which we talked about last year. The white minnows showed up in December. These little tiny glitter minnows, I've always called them. They're little white and spotted type minnows all over the place. And the little flippers, little bullet bonitas and stuff will show up all in that. And that kind of starts it. Well, last year, the sails got locked in on those little minnows, and it got kind of hard to get them to bite. You'd physically see them up finning and carrying on. Well, it seems to be so many bullets that, and ballyhoo and mullet and everything else, that they're not even worrying about it. They're feeding on everything else, and you get a bait anywhere near them, you're getting bit. And that was certainly the case today, if the mahis and the giant full-grown summertime bonitas and kudas and everything else don't get to it first.
Yep.
Just epic fishing out here right now.
So, coming off the boat show, and we were both busy for that. You were doing sea trials for CV,
yes,
right?
Correct.
And so now,
and also helping Steele load the yachts and everything in.
Oh, you were?
Oh yeah, yep.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's my yearly tugboat thing.
Your yearly tugboat. That's I don't know, that's got to be a nerve-wracking job. I mean,
king tides this year lined up perfect with it. We got lucky. It was raining much of the time, but the wind wasn't blowing insanely hard. So, but king tides, it's just there's that much more water moving through there, and the area down there in Lauderdale by Bahia Mar and all that, it gets kind of narrow after you get north of marker 12.
Right.
And when you turn a 180 or 200 foot yacht sideways, it's got 10 plus foot of draft. You're
when
basically,
you turn a yacht sideways, not me.
Yeah, well, when somebody does it, you're basically damming off the intercoastal. And dude, the amount of force that water puts up against that boat, and then you're trying to stop them from getting sent down into the rest of the yachts, and with these amazing pieces of equipment that Steele has built. I mean, just ridiculous because they do it. They absolutely do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just Jim in general. I mean, he's the best of the best, and when it comes to that,
He quite literally is.
Yeah.
Like the world over. These yachts, I mean, they travel to the Med all over the world, and when you talk to the guys running the boats, or even sometimes the owners, there's nowhere like Lauderdale and Steel Towing.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist.
And you were doing sea trials for CV, and now you've had your boat for
We took delivery June 1.
Right? So, it's a few months now.
Yep.
So everything's shipshape, I'm assuming.
It's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
My Mercuries are doing great. My Raymarine's doing great. And that boat. So my 39 was the first 39 that they fully infused more boat building technology than I really know about. I mean, it's vacuum bagging, but it's beyond that. And in all boats that I've had from all manufacturers, they'll occasionally get like a little void underneath the gel coat. You won't know about it until something clunks it or whatever. Over time, you might get a little bubble that pops and they fix it. It's no big deal to fix. Well, you generally, when you use boat as much as I do, find out about it pretty quickly. Nothing. I mean, we never spider crack our CVs. It just doesn't happen. But occasionally you get those little void bubbles. Not one single solitary. And by now we'd have known.
Nice.
So I think this new method they're using is even better than what was a near perfect boat before.
That's pretty cool. I remember when we went fishing on it. I mean, it's the perfect boat.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, just
especially for out here.
Yeah, for out here and the layout and the ride and everything. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I want to point out something that I promised Mike that I would bring up right today. So today we're drinking the Legacy Rum.
Tastes good.
Tastes good. Tastes real damn good. This is probably this is the best rum that I've ever had in my entire life. This is limited edition. We're fortunate enough to have 2 bottles in house.
Oh boy.
Mike gave me 2 bottles. He said 1 to drink and 1 to keep.
You had 2 bottles.
This is going to be very hard. Yeah, we had 2 bottles. We're getting a little low. So these are limited Legacy edition, and the interesting thing is they are dark rum finished in rye whiskey barrels. Right, that gives it its unique flavor. It's like 100 proof, so take it easy over there. But it really is the most beautiful bottle of rum that I've ever partaken in. I also want to point out another thing. You've been on the show countless amount of times. Countless, literally. But this is the only time, other than the first time that I had you on the show, that you've been here solo.
True. Which was several years ago, I believe.
Yeah. So usually it's a party. So that's why today I was like, let me call Art and see if he just wants to come on and just hang out with my buddy and drink some rum.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So,
we're going to talk about that IGFA evening the other day?
Yeah. So that's, totally. So during the boat show week, Art and I went to the IGFA Tommy Gifford Awards together. And I had never been to the Tommy Gifford Awards.
Nor had I.
I mean, I've been to IGFA events. I've been to IGFA banquets and dinners and stuff like that. But I've never been to the Tommy Gifford Awards. And I was blown away.
Totally.
Like,
so which recipient caught your attention the most? And I don't expect you to remember all the names, as I definitely won't.
The first one definitely did.
Totally.
The most, I think.
The Bimini Bahamian bone fisherman.
Yeah, and he was in lockstep with Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And they achieved a lot of humanitarian results for the islands,
for everywhere,
and for the American and crossover. And I think that that's really resonates to one of our sayings around here: the stronger together.
Yep. Right,
between the relationship that we have with the great Bahamian people and our close proximity of Florida. I've said it before in the past because I guess they're kind of under the rule of the crown, or how does that work?
No, it used to be, not anymore. They're
an independent country,
right?
But they're still kind of like aren't they under like the blanket of the crown somehow, like protection of the queen kind of thing?
Yeah.
Right. So which is cool.
Absolutely.
But I don't understand like how throughout time and history that didn't become protection of the United States of America, but it isn't. But I'm glad that they're a free country.
Oh, for sure.
And it had a lot to do with him being a part of that, and and gaining their own independence. So that was really interesting to find out. And it happened
almost 90 years old.
Yes, and it happened in a very connected by water way.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yep.
So it's like the power of the water, the power of fishing.
The relationship you develop within it.
Exactly. And that's the vibe, and that's the entire philosophy behind the idea of being connected by water, is that, and how it can transcend just the sport and just the fish and just the moment, and you create that community. And that guy certainly did.
Yep. And that was the most interesting thing about him. And I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on his name right now.
I'm drawing a blank on his name too. I'm going to figure it out right now.
But
and then Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, of course.
Well, that's the thing. The rest of the guys were phenomenal fishermen and made their mark within the fishing community. But the Bahamian fellow there went so far beyond. He's a boat builder, which many of the North Carolina guys are as well.
Right.
But he's a boat builder and a civil rights activist. And
well, he's got that historic boat that is on display in Hells Bay.
Yeah. Skiff.
The skiff.
That's
on display in the Hells Bay
factory there. Yeah.
The factory there, yeah, in the front room. I can't find his name, so in the interest of the show, I'm going to move on on that one. But yeah, Bobby Brown was. But I do want to talk about the level of the crowd that was in that room.
Oh yeah,
like literally, there was a hero at every seat. Like, and it was really just phenomenal to see. Just the level of talent and legend that was in that room. It was put on by one of the greatest organizations on the planet, IGFA, and they did a great job of putting that together.
Without a doubt.
But I would that's really the takeaway for me from that night was just like the legend of level of people that were in that room. It's just off the charts.
Yeah, if you could make a movie out of a tenth of what all those eyeballs have seen, a fishing movie. Whew.
I want to give a shout out to Nick over there. You're the man.
What's his last name?
Nick DeSantis. So we have a DeSantis in the room. So very proud of that fact.
Golf clap.
Also Sanders.
There you go. That's it. Yeah, I can see. Phenomenal name too.
So he was on the forefront of civil rights for the Bahamian people, crossed over into the American people. He was very tight with Martin Luther King. And that was unexpected.
Totally.
In the entire night. And we were just sitting back, just watching that and just hearing the story.
And the way people spoke about him.
Yeah, his relationship with the Queen of England. Yeah. Like he made a necklace. He made a necklace for her that she wore a lot. And like she's a phone call away from this guy. And
he's from an island the size of a freckle, a boat builder and bone fisherman, and literally touched people the world over. It's quite amazing.
100%. So I was very
still
pleased.
Extremely well spoken for near 90 years old.
The talks that came before him, right? The people that had a lot to say, were phenomenal, and just he had this air about him when he came to the stage, of just like, wow, that's this air of excellence and this air of prestige, and it was just you felt it.
Yep.
You felt that vibe.
It's very clear the dude had been there and done it. About all of it.
Yeah, and he didn't. His talk wasn't self-serving. Yeah,
nope.
Your ego's not your ego.
Definitely wasn't there.
The talk was not self-serving. I mean, and it was just very humble. It was very clear and it was very precise. And he was very honored to be there. That was clear,
for sure.
But
which is strange to me in that he's done so much already, and at this point, even an honor from fishermen still means a lot to him. I shouldn't say strange. It was. I don't know. It's not the right word. I was pleased by the fact that still, clearly, the dude's life carried him far beyond fishing, but still, being praised by fishermen was big to him, and so he's still connected heavily to the community.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Despite his other accomplishments.
I mean, you think about it, right? Like in life, recognition and the things that you can achieve in this kind of realm that we're in, it doesn't really get better than being a recipient of the Tommy Gifford Award.
For sure. Oh, yeah,
I mean, because they don't give those out at the age of 50.
Yeah, oh, no doubt.
That's a lifetime award.
Of the fellers there, two of them had passed.
Yeah, exactly. They gave them, they gave them posthumously, and and they had Zoom calls last year during COVID because those folks were alive at the time, and and they played them at the event.
It sounds awesome. It sounds like a great night. I was bummed I kind of missed it.
Yeah, it was cool.
I'm bummed that I've never been to any of them in the past.
Well, I'm going to tell you next year, I think Connected by Water is we're just going to get a table and just go. Because it's worthy. It's worth supporting that. You know what I mean? And I definitely believed in everything that happened that night. I want to give a shout out to Skip Smith for
did a phenomenal job.
He always does a phenomenal job, and he's part of the brainchild behind that event overall.
Gotcha. So a dude that will be getting that award at some point.
He'll be getting it. He should have already received it, but he'll be getting it.
They wait. Yeah. And again, him being involved like he is makes it that much more tricky, but there's no doubt it's coming.
Yeah, that's true. No doubt it's coming, 100%. Yeah. And and it's tough to predict, who would get it, or who's going to be there, but you gotta, you're talking like Bobby Brown. He's got the world record blue marlin, and it stood for a long time.
Yep.
And that's an undeniable feat.
Oh yeah.
It's an undeniable lifetime achievement, and it says a lot. I mean,
well,
I could tell you another person that's definitely going to be in there. I'm not going to say one name because I don't want to embarrass anyone, but I definitely think there's someone in this room that's on the path, to it. Right?
You headed there?
Right. But there's also another person I think that's also heading on the path. That's Andy.
Oh, Andy's for sure. Awesome.
I mean, he's got 8 granders.
Yeah.
Already. You know what I mean? And he's in his young 40s. I mean, right?
He's in his early 50s.
Yeah. Andy's a bit older than me.
Is he that old?
He's 11 years older than I am.
All right, sorry. I mean, to call
51.
Nah, dude, he looks good for a 50-year-old dude. Huh?
I thought he was younger than me.
He's
definitely in better shape than me.
He did say he left up there because it was getting too chilly for him already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still a Florida boy.
Yeah, absolutely. So Andy was in the studio the other day, and he was telling me all about it. He's texting me pictures of Volkswagen tuna.
Yeah.
Right?
It's ridiculous.
Oh, you didn't come this year because I was supposed to go up there with him this year.
Take the opportunity.
Yeah,
it's epic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them next year. Well, we're gonna bring the whole family. Right?
What the hell are the rest of the family gonna do, dude? There's not a lot going on up
there. They're gonna hang out and do whatever. And
take them fishing.
Just enjoy being Canadian.
Take them fishing.
No, they want to go. I mentioned it to Liz. I said, "You want to go on the trip?" She's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And
put your kid in the chair. Have him crank on one.
Yeah.
Strap them.
Sean weighs 48 pounds.
It's worth it for them to be on the boat for that experience for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, to see a swimming animal that big. That said, I saw one tail buy out here today. The bluefins are. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The condition was up. The only problem, we had 3 knots of south current out here to the north anyway. But
3.
Yeah, it was roaring south, which typically fish don't get up on top and tail in it. But he was steaming south hard. Popped up when he ran into the snow white water. It sounded, so I didn't get to get in front of it to look at it at least.
Right. Yeah.
Our gear doesn't hold up to those dudes, but they're starting already, which is early. But we'll be seeing a bunch this year, I think. Especially with the fronts already showing up. We might have a real winter this year.
From what I've heard, have you heard anything about that? Well, from what I've heard, that we're gonna have a lengthy cold winter.
Thus far, it's I mean, who knows?
It's an early snap, but I have heard though. The interesting thing about this cold front to me is that usually when they come this early, they're gone in a day.
Yeah, this one's held on,
and this one's.
I'm
looking at the forecast, and it's going to be here for a week and a half.
No chance. It went northeast today. It's started to swing, but it's going to go around again. We got another one coming in the later part of the week.
That's what I mean. It's
it's another front. That's a whole nother one.
It's going to be in the 70s for a little while, it seems. So, which is great.
Water's still warm, and that wind went northeast while I was fishing today, so it'll be 80 tomorrow.
And what's the sailfish report about it?
They started biting up north. We've had a steady bite.
Wasn't Chippy just taking? Sheehan just taking?
He was right in front of Boynton.
Yeah, and he was just taking some sails the other
day.
Yeah,
right? he went 4 for 6 and said he saw 10 yesterday, and we were just south of him and only saw 3 yesterday. But we saw a pile of mahis and all kinds of other stuff. It was good fishing. And then today I called him and I went ahead and ran on up there, and the current was roaring south up there. We had one bite up to where he saw those fish yesterday, and then came back out front and. it was either zero current or maybe just a trickle to the south, but it was on out here. The bait was up. It was just nuts. And we had 5 bites in about 35 minutes or so, just right off the Moran's house, the blue roof there.
Yeah, nice.
So there's certainly, and these are, I think, are all ballyhoo fish. These fish are the same ones we've been casting to in the ballyhoos. But with that said, there was a boat went 8 for 8, and we believe it was somewhere off the ledge up there, Juneau, Jupiter area yesterday. So it's kind of starting.
Like a Loran thing, or not that
south
far north?
There.
Yeah,
south there. And I haven't heard anybody fishing up that far yet. But But again, though, I mean, we've had years where we had 20, 30 bites in end of October, start of November, when these conditions kind of made up with North Current, though, which we didn't have today. And then come December, January, where it just falls off to nothing. But again, the weather kind of quit at that point, and it warmed up. And you start hearing about the guys up there in Smyrna just banging away at them. So giant ground
the trawlers?
Sea.
Yeah.
Giant ground sea like we've had here for these last couple of days. And wind's going to go north again, and I think it'll keep it going. Maybe it pushes those fish down here, and they camp out down here, because we certainly got a ton of bait. I mean, insane amount of bait out here. So I'm hopeful. Maybe they camp out, and it'll just shift. That body of fish will shift around from Miami to whatever, Jupiter or something, and we can really...
Well, I'm hopeful they'll stick around for a while if the cold's going to stick around for a while. I mean,
if that actually has anything to do with it. I really don't know.
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it does. I mean, when it gets cold, they start snapping.
Sometimes. Last couple of years, the first few cold
Last
ones,
year was tough.
Yeah, until late in the season.
Yeah. And that's true. Last year was a little tough on it. Since we're talking about sailfish, I got to give a shout out to our girl, right? Nicole. Who is currently in Guatemala fishing the sailfly at Casa Vieja Lodge. And let me see.
She's the best.
What did she do?
I love
what did
her.
she do? She texted me. She just texted me before the show.
The whole family's down there.
That's awesome.
The whole family.
See, a family trip. There you go.
What did she say to me here? Where is it? Why can I not find Nicole's text? Anyway, I think I want to get the numbers right for her. So here we go. All right. So she went. They raised 9, they teased 4, and they hooked 3, but all 3 jumped off.
Oh no!
All 3 jumped off. This is this is all on fly.
Yep.
Just so everyone knows, this is not traditional trolling for.
But even with that said, that's slow for there. Well, numbers wise, raising. Usually they'll raise.
Yeah,
up high.
For raising.
They're trolling still.
Yeah, maybe it's a little early though.
Yeah, they were banging them up last week, so they'll have a day
because I know that the January, and that's really when it starts moving for them. But but I'm proud of her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So
absolutely.
She's having a great trip with her family, the Paulus family. They're phenomenal people for sure, 100%. Jack's down there.
Thank God,
and their
leave my
mom's down
fish
there.
alone around here. That boy's been out here banging them up lately.
Yes, he has. So, shout out to the Paulus family. Shout out to our girl Nicole, who we are very proud of.
Yep.
So
tell me, have I done this right or not? I don't think I have.
What?
I don't think I've
you
shared
post it. You got to post it.
There.
This has been social media lessons with Art Sapp. So, are we getting any questions on our thing? Or
I haven't seen anything.
Nothing. No one's commenting.
They're commenting, but they want to know if you're going to catch a Gibbons playoff game. Before the week from Friday. There's nothing about connecting.
Is that what they're asking about Gibbons football?
Correct.
Oh my God, that's funny. Well, we actually have to have Matt back on the show. Oh, that is Matt. Matt Dubuck is watching. So, we are going to have Matt on the show. Matt's going to come in and talk about it. And I am going to go to the Gibbons playoff game, Matt. So, just so you know. Where can I see the comments?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Upper right-hand corner.
All right, cool.
There you go.
So, Art, tell me. How excited are you for sailfish season?
Couldn't be more excited.
Right?
Especially seeing what we're seeing already. Tournaments.
How's your program changed from last year to this year?
Not a lot. Buddy Mike Lamb moved up to Jupiter or up to Georgia, so he's not going to be fishing with this year. But otherwise, Calabrese took a job, so we lost him. But
Breezy?
Yeah, Breezy took a job.
Oh,
yeah.
Is he still in town though?
Yeah, well, he lives in Jupiter. He just had a brand new little baby.
Yep, they had the baby
boy.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
He wants to come on the show. I can't wait to have him on. But
Absolutely.
we always keep missing each other every time we try to make it happen.
Good dude. Great dude. Yeah. So the good thing about starting with 14 people is a few people move on and you're still okay.
Yeah.
You keep fishing.
So Breezy's off the boat.
Yep. And Chris Niskanen, a guy that fished with us for a good long while, moved to Virginia to take a job 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd get him here and there periodically when he would come back because he'd die and missing all the fishing and everything, but did the right thing and got some experience. And he's come back and he's going to take a little bit of time, fish, play around, and then I would think whatever gig he gets, he'll make sure that he can peel off the time for the tournaments. Well, I'm sure we'll have him back for, if not all of the season, most of the season this year.
Yeah.
And he's a great benefit having a boat. And otherwise, it's all the same.
Same operation. Bernard's going to be going out this year.
Yep. I think this will probably be our last year to have him, though, being he's building this new boat.
Yeah, he's got his new release coming. Yep. The walk around. So.
Sure, why not?
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
So.
Yep, and we're close. I mean,
well, Dust 'em Offs is almost here.
The 5th, I think, December 5th.
I saw Ben. Down at the Miami CCA event.
Yeah, I saw the
He's getting
pictures.
pretty jacked up.
Absolutely.
Yep. And
he's actually going to get to fish his tournament this year with the Lunatico crew.
Oh, really?
Yep. He's going to run that Lunatico boat. He ran it last year. I think he's going to fish 2 events, that Miami Billfish tournament.
Right.
Which I totally screwed myself on. I got to call Todd. I had a couple charters booked from way back, and then I get the dates, and it's the same. And
are you not going to fish it?
There's no chance I can lose this guy. Devastated. Absolutely devastated. But I'm going to get the dates in the calendar. Like I have all the others are locked in year after year. You know, it changes by a day or two here and there, but you always know the range.
Well, for that tournament, I was talking to Todd actually today, and we're not going to set up like we normally do. I'm just going to go and I'm going to start painting the guitar for March.
Oh, very good idea.
So I already got the guitar.
Nice.
So so I'm going to start it.
Nice.
And I'm just going to go there and put it up on an easel and get rolling.
People are going to come pestering you and staring at you.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll be honest with you. I don't even notice they're there half the time.
Yeah. Once you lock in,
I lock in, and then it's just like everything behind me just like melts away and disappears.
Yeah, I wish
that is the truth, though. It happens just like that. You get kind of zoned out. And,
I guess once when I'm where I'm doing my thing, the concentration's there. But everywhere else,
you ever get like that though, where you're just like so like focused in on it that you break your zone and you look up and you're like, wow, there's the whole outside world around me.
That or you look at the clock and holy shit, 4 hours just went by.
Yep. 100%.
I definitely have experienced that.
But that's a good thing though.
It isn't when you need every second you can get to catch as many as you can and the tournament's half over and you're still, my gosh, I think I'm about to catch a cramp. Been a long day.
You're cramping up now?
Oh, yeah. I'm good.
He's cramping up, Carlene.
I'm old, dude. I'm old. Been a few days going hard. Good stuff.
So when was your last day off?
There are no days off, really. I mean, we've only fished these last 2 days, but the bait pins came out of the water on No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. No, I did. Yep. Saturday was bait pins, pressure cleaned all the bait pins, built a new one. And it's insane the amount of time. You know, the glory part or the glorious or the whatever, the pretty part of it is actually getting to fish the tournaments or actually getting to fish, even just charter fishing or whatever, fun fishing. But the insane amount of time that is put into bait pin maintenance and bait fishing, bait boat maintenance. And we ain't even touched the big boat yet. And all the insanity that goes into keeping that thing as pristine as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the rods and reels and the rigs it's amazing the amount of time you can put into it. The good thing you can do rods and reels and rigs and all that stuff in the dark, and neighbors won't yell at you for pressure cleaner running all night long, or all your lights lit up while you're trying to get the boat waxed in the middle of the night, which in the summertime is actually a benefit, but this time of year, too damn cold.
It's a parallel.
Yeah,
it's another parallel, right? So when you pay whatever your rates are to go fishing, right? And at the end of the day, your customers are holding the fish, like say it's $2,000 or whatever, right? Like you're not holding a $2,000 fish. right? You're basically you're paying for the experience. You're paying for the guy that did all that in the background, that took care of the bait. You're paying for all that time that went into that, right? You caught the bait and then gassed up the boat, and then you just did all the maintenance, did all the rigging, the whole thing like that. And it's the same with us.
Yep.
Like people think like when they get our fee for the artwork, it's like, oh yeah, I'm paying that much for a shirt. Well, no,
it's a lot more than
that. There's overhead here, and there's the time that went into all the other intangibles that you don't see, and there's everything that moment that led up to, here's a shirt, and it's just like, no, or here's your painting. It's like there's so much more that goes into it that the customer will never see.
Yep.
So they just won't.
Yeah. So it was a couple police
or
officers.
Understand.
Yeah, no doubt. Police officers I had on the boat today, and I do a military police officer discount, pretty heavy discount for those guys. Always.
As do we.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the right thing to do. It feels good. It feels, whatever, you go backwards, it feels good doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But they, these dudes, I know them really well. I've only had him on the boat a couple of times, but a Lauderdale cop works with me for the boat shows and become quite friendly. And the minutes you get between the yachts coming and going, and it takes him a little while to stage, whatever, so you get to chat with him. But so he's a real good friend. Well, one of his brothers asked, today, he's looking at all the bait pins I got scattered around. And he says, do you buy the bait to fill these pins up? And I got a pile of bait back there. He's looking at thousands of fish swimming around. And he said, no, man, we got to catch them. Really? He said, why don't you just buy it? I said, well, the bait we had on the boat today, if you were to go buy it retail, would have cost you more than you paid me for this charter.
Exactly.
He said, wait, what? So why don't you sell the bait? Because I wouldn't have had the experience that I got to have today, which most of your customers think that you're out there and it's monotonous and you're doing this for them. I haven't had a customer on a boat yet that I've done anything for. I'm out there to get to go see whatever I can possibly see, catch whatever I can catch.
Yeah.
Do it for me. They just happen to get to ride along and spend the money to get to ride along to do it. And that's how and Jimmy beats me up about it regularly because he's a little more business minded than I am. I'll run further than I should, burn more fuel than I should, end up losing money on a bunch of trips. I want to catch them. I want to see them.
Art, that's the separator, though. This is where you and I are a lot alike, right? And this is the undeniable truth. You're gonna do things that you should do that are like above and beyond things, or just like detail things that go into it, or like when I'm doing an illustration or we're including extra things, like as long as at the end of the day that thing looks killer in my mind, that's what matters to me. You know what I mean? Like if you want a nickel and dime, that's why we don't really nickel and dime the a la carte thing anymore. It's just like, what's one price? And
this is it.
Because that's what goes into it every single time. Like I'm going to try to deliver my best of the best every single time. It may take a little bit longer than your average artist, but that's the reason why, is because I'm not going to go to sleep on the project. Ever.
You're going to please yourself.
Never.
Gotta be right.
I am never going to go to sleep on a project. I am never going to process the project. I am never just going to push it through or send it home or just go, you know what? That one sucks. We're going to move on to the next one because the next one's a better project. I am never going to do that. I swear to all that is holy. I am going to put my best on the field every game.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's what you get. And I know that's what they get when they come to you too.
Absolutely.
It's the same damn thing.
Absolutely. And I guess I've never had a customer that was at least vocally unhappy at the end of the day. And we've had some tough trips. There's no denying that. And sometimes just no matter what you do, they just aren't biting. And sometimes no matter what you do, they bit for that guy over there and you didn't get bit.
Yeah.
And that's some of the toughest one. You're pulling your hair out on it. But it doesn't happen often, fortunately. But fortunately it doesn't happen. But unfortunately it does every now and then. And even then, I think that they see the effort put forth and at least know that we're doing everything.
I think that's the important thing. If the communication is there and the effort is there and your reputation is already there, that's why they came, right? And I think that really solves the matter. If they see that you tried, there's been guys at the end of the day who are like, I really don't like it. And you're not going to leave me until you do.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's it. And we talked about Yanni before the show, like it's that pursuit or that striving for perfection. Never going to get there.
Yep.
Never, and that's the trick. Like you're never going to get there, right? But you're going to
like
try
that.
every
Yep.
single damn time.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
yep, and that's the great thing about the charter fishing thing too. And with all of it, until there isn't a tomorrow, you get back and try again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
I think Carlene's mad at us.
Say again?
Say again. See?
No,
I
I'm
think
just
you're mad
listening
at
to you,
us.
gentlemen. That's all. Art's always got the floor when he's
I
here.
know.
So I sit back and make sure the
looking
drinks
over
are
there,
poured.
Carlene. She's like, right. So,
Cheers.
all right. So tell us a little bit of it. Did you just go to North Carolina?
Mm-mm.
No?
I'm going in a couple weeks.
You're going
to freeze to death?
Mm-hmm.
To Franklin?
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And your good buddy Bouncer Smith.
He's up there somewhere.
He's about
he
6
went there,
miles
right?
from the farm right now. Correct.
Right? He's up there right now, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
talked to him about that? Like, is he right near your place?
When we went to dinner that night, we spoke about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Cool.
Yeah, it's good. Franklin's a great place.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't, like I told you before, if my husband wasn't a captain, I'd probably be lost in a tractor up there.
Yeah.
I love the ocean, don't get me wrong, but there's something, they don't call me country for nothing. I don't know if you guys know that was my nickname. So there's
Was country's your nickname?
It has, you can't pick them.
Yeah.
But yes, that was my nickname. Well,
You can't pick them.
I think what it is for me is I spent a good portion of my, high school and college youth in the woods. Had the good fortune of doing it. My dad got on a lease. I was living in Jacksonville. He was in Lauderdale still. So we would meet in the middle there and go to the woods and hang out on the weekends a bunch. And then post-college for quite a few years. I loved it, dearly loved it. But, and I would like to have a weekend here or two, or a week here or there, or whatever. I'd like to go elk hunting and do some of that stuff. But I don't have the drive to get back in the woods like that.
Don't get me wrong. My daughter's name's going to be Marina. So
Nice.
I am after the saltwater, life and everything like that. But there is that side of me that just, just
You know what?
in the quietness.
You can get like, what's the word I'm looking for when you get too much salt in you?
No
Like-
such thing. No chance.
You can.
You can get, this is it right here. Art Sapp.
I know, this
It's right
is
in
what
front of
happens to you.
product. Too much.
There's no such thing as too
No,
much
but
salt.
my point
no.
is, listen, my point is it's good to break off of it every now and
Of
then.
It's just the
course,
right?
concrete
That's my
jungle
point.
that we're in down here. So
That's-
we've decided
yeah.
to keep the house here and build another, 1,500 square feet underneath it because we have the land to do it here, just
Mhm.
under air. But that will always, you
Yeah.
can always do half and half. It's just more for my kids to get their hands dirty and
That's-
understand,
yeah.
what life's really about, and not,
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, and it's so hard to teach gun safety and the ability to operate or to use a gun in South Florida because go to Markham Park. Well, I don't even know, is Markham Park back open yet? Post COVID
It's open.
insanity?
I see airplanes
Yeah.
flying.
You just
When
got
I
our
drive
daughter
by
little
the range.
22.
Yeah.
She's getting ready to start using
Yeah.
that. We got it all dialed
It's
in
open.
over.
Yeah, Yanni's saying it's open.
It is good.
Yeah.
It was shut down for a good long while there, wasn't it? I mean, and even at that though, to teach them to shoot well. One, there's no moving target abilities. I had the good fortune as a kid. I've got a buddy, Ward Gunner, who is truly the best rifle shot I've ever seen, ever, period. No military experience or anything. Well, as a 4-year-old, his old man, they were a citrus business, grapefruit that would hit the ground. His old man would roll grapefruit, and he'd be through his scope on a 22, plinking away,
Awesome.
plinking away, plinking away. The
Really?
dude doesn't miss. He doesn't miss. It's amazing. And then from that, his dad taught me how to he actually is a gunsmith as well as many other amazing trades. But he taught me how to load ammunition and from there, he built me a rifle. And it was a passion for a very long time. Like I said, taught me how to shoot as well as my father did a bunch, but he really taught me how to get serious about it and make adjustments and shoot really well. And it was a passion. I did it for a long, long time and did well with it. But then it still all brown and green out there.
Yeah.
And I don't see you painting a whole bunch of wood
Well,
scenes.
this is what I was going to say. I mean, you say, oh, no, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't. I'm like, hey, I guess you're right, because you're talking to a guy that pretty much fashioned my entire existence around the ocean. I mean,
Correct.
my freaking company connected by water. I don't think I can put pen and paper down without drawing a bill at this point in my life. It just like naturally just starts happening.
No,
Here's the
I
thing.
understand.
When you get
completely.
your, what do you call the little thingy where you put your little blobs of
palette?
paint? There you go, your palette. There you go. when you get your palette to paint one of these things, there's probably 30.
I bet you can broaden your horizons if you came and sat on those 40 acres and looked around.
No, I can't. Listen.
The colors aren't there, though, babe.
No, I guess with the colors, there's nothing, you can't say any. I mean, with the blues that he uses, and, it's amazing. You cannot compare to that. It's more of a state of mind that I go there for.
Yeah, it's state of mind.
There's no
one
comparison.
of the coolest things, that's kind of one of the coolest things about being an artist for the Mint is that it brings in a lot of other influences, which I think is funny that the first coin that I posted the other day that got minted was a boat, but so it's kind of funny. But that is one of the cool things. It involves you in a whole bunch. You got to do people and everything like that. And listen, we live in the free state of Florida. I can draw or paint whatever I want.
Yep.
Right. So, and by the way, I am calling you that from this point on. We are no longer the Sunshine State. We are the free state of Florida.
I like it.
That's what I call it.
It's got a hook. It's got a ring to it.
It was cool. It was actually, we were at the Aldine concert last week, me and Liz.
And you didn't get the Rona?
No.
Yeah.
I'm good. No, he comes every year for our anniversary the same weekend. So we go see him every year. One year we got backstage from him. That's another story. But it was cool. He's like, he said that at one point in the concert. He's like, how's everybody like living in the free state of Florida? And the whole place went crazy.
America.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, no, I've fashioned my entire existence around the ocean. I'm not denying it.
Yep.
At all. I'm just saying it's just good to get out every now and then.
It definitely is. And I'm desperate to, it's one of my best customers, Nathan Sprague, relatively new. He lives all the way up in Port St. Lucie, and he actually also used to fish with Pat Price a bunch.
Oh, he did?
Too. Yeah, it's a great connection there. But he just got back from an elk trip where he was successful, and I think they actually filmed it, and he did some trout fishing and all that stuff. And he's from, it's not Tennessee. Oh, shit, I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, he's from the Midwest out there and spent a ton of time in the woods and does that stuff. But I don't think so. I think it may have been Tennessee. But he's so addicted. He's actually ordered a new 39 CV, and
oh, really?
It didn't take long for him to come down here and get totally hooked.
Yeah.
But with all that said, as much as he seems to love it, he's got an 11-year-old little girl, Sophia, that is the shit.
Really?
This kid, he's got two boys too, who are neat little dudes. From what I've known about them, I've only had them on a boat maybe twice. I've had Sophia on a boat probably 10, maybe a dozen times. The kid loves it.
Charges,
awesome.
Loves it. Dearly
That's cool.
loves fishing. She got queasy one time after staying up all night playing Roblox or one of them with one of her buddies. Left her buddy at home and woke up. They got to get up early to get to my house at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
To go fishing. And up and rolling. I from hearing from Nathan, I think they stayed up like 2 or 3 in the morning playing that silly ass video games.
Where they live at?
Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
So she's up an hour and a half, 2 hours later, comes on down, and she got seasick. She said, Daddy, I don't get seasick. What's wrong with me? You stayed up all night playing video games. What do you think's going to happen? And it's never happened again since.
Yeah.
She said, oh, if we're going fishing the next day, she's had buddies stay over, but they conk out early.
I think that's the most important thing about seasickness, and people get it. Like, I think it's really important. You got to go out again immediately, right off the bat.
It didn't.
People think, I get seasick,
fishing.
I'm never going out there ever again. It's just like, you got to get your sea legs. You got to go right back out.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not a problem for her at all. She knew what the reason was. She could lose an arm fishing. She's going to go fishing the next day. Yeah. That kid is so driven. And that's another aspect of charter fishing I love dearly. You run across people like that. Nathan's an amazing dude and has become a friend. And actually somebody that I've talked about trying to get to the woods with. I really want at some point to do the elk hunting thing. Never done it. Done all kinds of turkeys and whitetails.
See, did you hear what Art just said? I'm really trying to get to the woods.
To go elk hunting.
Just making sure.
Something
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, believe me, elk is one of my favorite meats.
Thank you for bringing that up. Because thank you for calling.
I'm really trying to get to the woods with Nathan, a dude I consider a good friend who's also a customer.
What do we chop liver?
Elk meat is probably my favorite meat.
Well, this dude does it.
I'm just kidding.
And the reality is you and me can't afford that shit to do it really right. Because it's become so popular now.
Yeah.
That the private lands, from what I hear, I don't have no experience with it, but from what I understand, the private land stuff, I mean, there's people that exercise for one reason now, and that's to be able to walk the mountains elk hunting. Mm-hmm. So that makes private land hunting that much harder.
Rogan's buddy. What's his name?
Yeah,
Cameron Haynes?
Cam Haynes. Well, he's got the money, though, to
He does now.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be on private land.
Have you had an elk shot before?
Oh, of course, yeah. I've eaten a ton of elk, but I like to kill it when I. No, that's all through college. That was one of the great things about having a hunting camp. I didn't buy a hunk of dead cow or pork or anything else. Mm-hmm. We killed it all: turkeys, deer, and then fished. And my grocery bill.
See, I don't have a lot of experience hunting. I want to hunt. I just don't have a lot of experience.
Oh, there you go. You got your boy back in town.
Yeah, down here.
I talked to Andy about going to Texas too, right? Yeah, he's I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to Texas with you. There's all these quotas and tags that they have now that they didn't meet this year, and I'm like, yeah. But if I'm gonna go, it's like that's like anything I do, right? It's not gonna go fishing, right? It's like I'm gonna go with Art because I want to go. Anything I do, it's gonna be the best way. If I'm gonna go hunting, I'm gonna go with Andy. Yeah, it's like I don't want I'm not just gonna go. It's just some dude that's got a gun. He's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Probably shoot some hogs out of a helicopter out there too. Would be nice.
Yeah, I've never done that. It'd have to be. To be honest with you, that's one of the things that kind of drove me away from the lease I was on and the way we were doing it. The cowboys would beg you, kill every hog you can. Well, there'd be guys killing them, leaving them lay because they're okay. To be honest with you, you get a lot of them that aren't so good, and some of them that are okay eating. When in college, you take whatever you can get, and they were fine. But killing them and leaving them lie is a hard thing to do, and they're so overrun. Yeah. Something has to be done. I mean, they were trapping them, carrying them out of there, but still just shredding the pastures.
It's hard.
Yeah. So something's got to be done, and you need to kill them. But
they're a nuisance because they root up the ground, and then the cows end up like breaking their legs in it, and then the dairy cows are worth nothing in the end. So it's kind of that's why the farmers say, "Come on and get them,
kill them, all you can." And it just got difficult. And then you sit in the stand. I like still hunting. I like walking, and that's become almost impossible now because they cram so many members on a lease, and you got to sign a little thing. This is your zone that you're going to be in. They want you to sit in the stand. Mm-hmm. I like walking. I like still hunting.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons the elk hunting thing interests me. So doing that. But,
we had Taylor on recently, and he was going through a bunch of that stuff because he's really doing a lot more now.
Yeah.
He's doing way more than fishing now. And he's just fell in love with just the isolation.
He's out there at Fox Brown. Mm-hmm. That's the thing people don't realize. Florida's got some amazing hunting. And now, and especially now, we get these little cool snaps like this.
It's nice when it's cold. I mean,
it's hard
when it's hot. Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah,
especially because the game is so sensitive to scent. And you go to walking around sweating, you smell like a goat. And it ain't gonna work.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's another good point too. Yeah. I'm at the point in my life right now where it's like my time is so limited, and I've already had so many other experiences that it's just like if I'm gonna carve out my time to do something with somebody, it's like, I want it to be someone who's really knowledgeable on the matter or a good friend.
Yep.
Like, because my life right now, it's like I really want to spend time with the people.
That's why I choose to do my Monday nights with you guys.
This is
right?
it.
That's it.
Right? And you know what? And I really want to say though, like it really does mean a lot to us.
Absolutely.
That you come and hang out with us like this. Like it
really
does. It means a lot. It warms my heart. And I'm not bullshitting you. That is the God's honest truth. So
it's you crawl back into the fishing world. I didn't know you well prior to all this, but I mean the girls had some extraordinary experiences often.
100%. That's the thing.
In the fishing community, in the jungles of South America and shit.
Listen, I want to make that like
I got some brief stories. I'm so intrigued.
Undeniably clear, right? That the reason that I am just proud and honored to have Carlene behind the bar for every single episode is like she's not just another pretty face.
She's the shit.
I mean, this is like the real deal over here. So that's what. Let that be known throughout all the lands and wave your flags and blow your trumpets. That is the truth.
She may have more.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this a damned long time.
Very humbled to hear that, gentlemen, especially coming from you guys.
Well, it's the truth. It's the truth. It's like, I mean, this is connected by water. It's not, it's. I want someone behind the bar that's going to chime in and like be able to call out any person that's sitting in that chair across from me.
Yeah, we didn't go find some fish head from Instagram or some model from Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a fish head.
No, you got all people? This now, baby.
You don't need those people.
I'm just kidding. It's going to be a lot more soon.
Congrats. Yeah. Thank God that doesn't happen to me. To dudes. No
What's that?
People would have gone extinct if it took that.
Yeah.
To keep population for dudes. I'm not articulating.
Are you not ready to incubate an alien?
No.
No, you're not ready to do
that? No.
That baffles my mind.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like another human being living inside of you.
You heard me. I called it parasite earlier. It's just something tagging along. She's got a damn remora hanging out in there.
Fuck. Latched on.
Yep.
Oh
That's what it seems like to me. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. They got some Sigourney Weaver shit going on over there. It's the way I see it.
It's not that bad. It's big boobs and a belly, man. It's not.
No, it's not
bad. We're talking about
just keep on
not
rolling with it.
Yeah, we go extinct without y'all doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Taking one for the team.
You just don't understand. We don't understand.
I think we're falling down a hole here.
Yeah,
right now.
we got to run.
We need to get it.
Wrap it up, Art. You got a 45-minute to 50-minute window today.
Right. Oh, we do. Oh, we're chopping this thing off. My bad.
What's that?
Well, I have to wrap it up. He's got to wrap it up.
Oh, we're going to wrap it up soon, right?
Just not yet.
Are there any announcements you need to make?
I almost, if I'd have had the time today while we were fishing.
For the 6 people that are still watching.
So I almost put a thing out, but I couldn't figure out how to do it it was so busy while we were fishing today. Quit your job and get offshore if you live anywhere near where I live right now, because it's just that good out here right now. Now, the wind did go east a little bit, northeast, so who knows what that'll change.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely is going to be a lot rougher tomorrow. But it's been just big, giant ground sea and no chop on it, and amazing.
I love the ground sea, though.
That's cool.
That's my favorite. Just seeing
giant.
Yeah.
It's big spacing, though. Like
that's the thing. It's like that soupy shit. That's for the birds.
Yeah. Well, even I like it all, but
I know you do.
But even the sets, like the big sets, are really, really far apart. But the fishing is just even. I mean, we got May fishing going on out here right now, and it's November, which is unheard of, totally unheard of. Except for the dolphin are bigger and more abundant, even than you normally see.
Big.
They're nice fish, dude. It's all high quality fish.
You book tomorrow?
I got some maintenance catch up to do, but I got an afternoon trip booked.
Oh, you do?
Right now. Yep. But the morning, I got to catch up in the morning.
Actually, tomorrow will be bad for me anyway, but thanks for asking.
Make it happen.
Sienna's in the playoffs or in the championship game tomorrow night.
Nice.
For the basketball.
Very nice.
Yeah. So,
very, very nice.
So once again, the Purple Dragons are in the championship game.
It's awesome.
We dominate that league.
That's incredible.
We do. This is
how'd you go get into basketball?
Striving for perfection. So, God's honest truth.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a TV show called Liv and Maddie?
No.
No. Okay. It's a Disney show, right? Played by this girl who plays twins.
One person.
One person plays twins, right? And one girl is like an actress. And one girl is like a jock. She plays basketball in high school, right? They're both good kids, whatever.
But it's one person.
But when she was like, but it's one person. But when she was like 7, 8 years old, she watched this show, and the girl was a basketball player. And she's like, Daddy, and the girl's father was the coach. So she's like, oh, I want to play basketball. I want you to be the coach. I'm like, all right, we'll try that. I don't think it's going to last, but we'll try it. I'll coach season. Sign up, and then COVID hits.
She understands that the whole vertically challenged thing doesn't generally doesn't care.
Yeah, doesn't care. Nor should she, because
Did she think that you knew something about basketball?
I do know a lot about basketball.
Really?
Yeah,
in high school, I was a 4-sport athlete. I know it doesn't look like it now, but
the white boy can't jump.
Yeah. But I did. I played
basketball was one of them.
I played not in high school.
Okay, I was going to say
no, because I couldn't. I was too short to play in high school on the high school level, right? But I played street basketball. Listen, when I was young, I didn't stop.
Yep.
Like if I wasn't playing a sport, I was on the water. If I wasn't on the water, I was playing street basketball or whatever like that. Like I did not stop moving.
There was something else to chase at that time.
I was a surfer. I worked at BC Surf and Sport.
I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl with a phone.
Right. That was the other thing to chase.
If I was taller, I'd be a professional athlete. No, I can't say that for sure. But yeah. So anyway, so she says she wants to play basketball. Yes, of course, I'll coach. I have a very, and I'm not trying to brag about nothing, but I have a very good, like, sports mind.
Yep.
I really do. I always have. That's the family that I grew up in. I grew up in a sports family. Like, it was like, you are playing a sport, you have no choice.
Yep.
Right? Like, that's the family I grew up in. So we just played sports. We just did the whole nine yards. So when I got a hold of this basketball team, it's just like, all right, we are doing this. I got these girls running pick and roll, like these 10-year-old girls running the pick and roll. Like, we were in games like 44-7.
Oh God.
Yeah, like the other kids don't know what to do with it. But I got the girl. And I got to give a shout out to Ryan, my buddy Ryan, who's a firefighter. He's helping me coach. He's the same way. He's got a very good sports mind. We got these girls dialed in.
That's amazing.
Oh, we're bringing
the kids to do it is.
Oh yeah, no. We got them. Yeah, I got my best defender is the shortest girl on the team.
Yep.
We run a 2-2 zone with a roaming defender. And we call her the Honey Badger. She tears. We pick the best player on the other team. It's like, she's all yours. That one. And she just pesters that kid for the whole game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like one girl, that girl probably would score like 18 points in any other game. Against us, she'll score like 2 or 3.
That's amazing.
And 1 from the foul line because she's just tenacious. So anyway, so all right, so we're gonna wrap it up.
We are.
All right.
Fun to do it again, just you and me, dude.
Absolutely, dude. This is
and lovely lady Carlene behind the bar.
So I'm glad you just came in. So many times we're doing like the group thing, and there's like a point to the episode. I'm glad we could just do an episode that has like 0 point whatsoever, and just hang out and just have some rum, shoot the shit, and because that's also what Connected by Water is all about, right? It doesn't always have to be solving all the world's problems or every conservation issue there is in the world, or things like
just
that.
Relax a little bit. I can
relaxing,
tell you,
hanging out in our new studio. This is why, because this is going to be the first one in the new place, right? And I'm like, you know what? We'll bring in Art. And we'll just hang out and we'll just enjoy the new
honorary
space.
Art Sapp.
Yeah. And then that's it. So, yeah. Cool. So thanks for coming by.
Yep. I can tell you, shaming the old girl off here at the end, I think we finished up at like 4:15 or whatever. After that's the problem with catching so many fish. You got to cut them for an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking, man, I wonder if Dennis will do this thing tomorrow.
Well, that's the thing. I got the championship tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't do it with the other thing we were talking about too. That's why I couldn't do it.
We do need to make that happen.
Oh, 100%.
Got to make that happen.
100%. He said he wanted to do it, right?
Yeah. We're talking about Tim Maddock. If you're still watching Wonders.
Yeah, we got a future episode coming up.
That'll be a good one.
With Art and Timmy Maddock Sr. So that will happen shortly. We don't have a date for that one yet. No. I can tell you next week we are going to have Winterfest parade people on.
Is that already? Wow.
Yep. So
you're having them on.
The people.
Not the
people.
Yet.
No, so we're going to have some people from the Winterfest parade on. We're going to talk about that. Some upcoming episodes. I don't know if we can. They're not really on the books yet, so I don't know if we can mention them. But we do have some Fish and Wildlife Commission things that are going to be coming on soon. More Papa's Pilar folks coming on soon. I know pretty soon we're going to be getting good friend of the studio, Carl Anderson, is going to be coming back in with Gary Stuve.
Oh,
legend.
Good one.
Right?
Bouncer's coming back when he gets back from his trip.
When Bouncer gets back from North Carolina, we're going to have Bouncer in the studio. So we got some really
cool
episodes. In all things
considered, Carl Anderson is legend and well on his way to that award as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Well, he's the vice chairman of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And listen.
And
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I cannot think of a more humble guy in the business that has reached that legend status. That's like that is Carl Anderson. That really is very much the truth. And to have Gary in alongside him is going to be a treat. So we got the Gary and Carl episode coming. We got the Bouncer episode coming on. We got the FWC episode coming on soon, which we're still trying to organize that one. And Winterfest. Don't miss the Winterfest one, because we got a lot of cool things to talk about, and all the things that Winterfest does for the community, not just what they do as an event. So cool. I want to thank Joey Carty, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, for keeping the lights on over here, and all that they do over the years. Joey has just been a fantastic partner with us, and I can't thank them enough. So quick shout out to them. Papa's Pilar Rum, just a fine team of people, like really great guys to work with. So they want me to say, what did Mike say? Mike says he wants us. What was the line that he said today? I'm going to go back to the text machine here. And it's good enough for my cronies. Papa would be proud. So that's Hemingway's word for his bros. So
very good.
Cool. All right. And then we're going to give a shout out to CV today because we brought them up. So best boat on the water.
Without a doubt.
Right?
Best center console been built.
Blue Water chairs. So if you're in a market you want to do the ad for this one, a rocket launcher or a fighting chair?
Go ahead. You got the floor.
Right? What else?
I reckon they can build about anything you want.
Yeah.
Anything for your boat. Helm chairs, teak tables, battle stations, rocket launchers. You can get my contact through Dennis and call me directly and I'll be able to help you out with that.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%. So Carlene is the go-to. And if you want to buy a big boat, right?
Or a little boat.
I'll stick to the center consoles and the midsize. But yeah, I can help you with that too.
Call
Jupiter Marine Sales.
Carlene. So anything you need.
Wonderful.
Right? Cool. Yanni and Nick, thank you very much. Nick, thank you for the save.
What's his last name again?
DeSantis.
Yes.
Woo! Right, thank you for the save on the Ansel Saunders thing. And I want to give a shout out to the IGFA. If you don't support the IGFA, I suggest you do.
Please.
Or at least research them and look them up. It's a very important organization.
They do some neat stuff for sure.
All right, cool. We good? All right. We have reached our time, and I want to say your ego
is not your amigo.
Thank you very much. Always do your best and let God do the rest. Right? Don't ever forget that no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we are all connected by water.
Always.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.